Deric, getting on the positive side of this, when you think then of positive, what it means to be a man. By the way, my daughter was talking to me between services. I should clarify at this point. So often, the part of the lack of clarity is, what does it mean to be a man? It means to be a hunter, to like guns, to like sports, to want, and all of those things. Men may do that, but that's not the definition of masculinity. So if we're going to talk about the biblical definition of to be a man, what are some words that you all would use?
The protector was always the first one that comes to me, and Pat Ferguson pointed this out, so I'm giving him credit for it. The protection is because what you're protecting is so incredibly valuable. It deserves protection. So when I used to do close protection, which is the fancy word for bodyguard, and when I was a team sergeant in Afghanistan, my job was to protect, right? My job is to make sure that the principal is not hurt, because that principle is so valuable. And so what I do is I plan. My job, okay, I'm going to get the principal. I'm going to get my civil affairs team from point A to point B. I got to look at the route. I got to see where the danger points are. I got to see where the ambushes are. I have to make sure that we have good communication, that we have redundant communication, that not only does my radio work, but maybe I got my sat phone, and then at least a third type of communication, all three types. And then I make sure that the route is smooth and I know where it is. And if I have time, if you're doing close protection, you send out an advance party to make sure that you know what the venue's like, that they can tell you what's going on and where are the points that you can go, where are the hard points, where are the points you can be safe, where can you retreat to if you get in trouble. And that's how we should be as men with our marriage and with our family. That's because our wives are so incredibly valuable, because our children are so incredibly valuable, to do the work that it takes, the training that it takes to get out in front, to smooth out the way, to make sure that they don't run into any roadblocks. And of course, we can't anticipate anything. I mean, that's the reason ambushes are called ambushes, right? They're non-anticipated attacks. So you're not going to stop everyone, but do you have the training? Do you have the mindset to attack through the ambush? To get out in front of your wife, get out in front of your family, and protect them from the tremendous hate and destruction that the devil has planned for your family.
I love what you say in theory, but it doesn't matter how many times I hear you say protector. There's a part of me that has been so conditioned that I think, isn't that demeaning? I'm hearing people say, but I don't need to protect. What do you mean I need protected? That's kind of, it sounds arrogant. But how would you flesh that out?
Yeah,
Scott?
I'm going to jump on what Deric said. So if you think about a protector, you can get the negative aspects of that.
Yeah.
But really, to tag onto his mission success, you have your protectee, the who you're looking after. How do you get to where they need to be? It's not about you getting where you want to be. It's where do they want to be. You have to be a companion. You have to walk along beside them. You have to understand what their mission and what their goal is. In addition to that, you've got the rest of the team that you have to bring along with you. You can't do that by being a dictator. You have to listen to understand, not listen to respond. You're really looking for, okay, what's happening? Where are we going? What's going to be there? And you have to be prepared for the storm. A prime example is in Mark 6. If you look into that one, what's going on is the disciples are out in a boat and a storm comes up. And Jesus isn't with them. And they're sitting there and man, it's a rough storm. They're panicking. They think they're going to die. All of this stuff happens. And Jesus shows up right there. No, he doesn't. He waits until the fourth watch, which is like way early in the morning. So they've gone through all of this panic, and he comes walking across the water. And does he jump in and say, okay, now Peter, you get over here. We're going to row the boat. All right, everybody get ready. Put on your life vest. No. He calms the storm. He settles everything out. And as a protector, that's what our job is to understand and calm the storm, and when we need to, step in front. But you have to be willing to stand alongside, stand behind, whatever it takes, stand in the gap, just like Jesus did for us. You know, it talks about Jesus as the example for our marriages. That's what we're supposed to be.
I think as y'all were talking about that, I was thinking a couple things. First, the idea of the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm.
Yep.
Protector means by how I act, by controlling my temper, by being responsible with my schedule, by what I allow myself to look at. How am I protecting my marriage? How am I protecting my kids?